Did you know that the daily population of prisoners is 2.3 million people? Did you know that almost 10.6 million men and women are admitted into jail each year? Right now in the U.S., there are 190 million adults who have been affected by incarceration, either through a family member or they've been incarcerated personally at some point in their life. Almost completely unreachable, high maximum prisons have limited contact with the outside world and as a result have limited access to the gospel. Our mission is Pando. Pando is what we call the largest living organism in the world. It's a sea of aspen trees connected under the surface by one root system. This single root spreads out, giving life to new growth as each day passes, and our pursuit is the same. We want prisoners to be known and connected to the love of Christ as it spreads through one single living organism, the church. Hidden behind cinder block walls and iron fences are the faces that flashed across our Savior's mind as he took up his cross. Our own brothers and sisters taking on names that do not belong to them. Hopeless, unwanted, failure, worthless. Their suffering rippling into the future at warp speed as children repeat the only pattern they've seen before them. Darkness crushing that family generation after generation after generation. We can either sit by and choose to ignore what's going on in the darkness, chalk it up to poor decisions and bad influences, or we can choose to do something about it. So how do we reach the unreachable? How do we reverse a cycle that has centuries of weight on its back? We turn on the light. With the click of a button, we illuminate the darkness and stream hope and grace through satellite waves and Wi-Fi signals. We spread the gospel to the corners of the world that are destitute and forgotten, so that someone no different than I can hear you are loved. You have a purpose. God is not done with you yet. The devil is a liar. Because when God's light shines behind these cinder block walls, revival begins. Darkness is held at bay. Hope is restored. Dry bones come alive. And true freedom is found. Our mission is Pando. We know that there is nowhere that the gospel won't reach.
I'm Kendrick Sims, and I'm 33 years old. I've been incarcerated for 14 years now. I was sentenced to 20 years. And growing up in that type of environment that I grew up in, where a lot of drug selling and a lot of robbing, a lot of shooting and things like that, I never felt love, and then being able to participate in the Pando app, that was very life-changing for me, man. It's still life-changing for me. I ain't never seen a ministry do that before. Out of my whole entire time now, I never seen a ministry come up with their own app. God used Pando app to reach the unreachable people. And that in itself is encouraging for me, is that, God's still reaching people when they don't want to be reached. You know what I mean? Like I was at one point, I didn't want nothing to do with Jesus at first, but God just being persistent through different avenues, and especially God behind bars. You guys have been giving me your best. And I just thank God for you guys, and that's in itself is life changing,